So out of curiosity, did you see in depressed patients, because I'm assuming that it may correlate, did you see that the neurons in the amygdala are less active?
Do you have an example of an iatrogenic disease, and how would a physician go about diagnosing something as iatrogenic?
I know that Ebola restin was discovered in Virginia and it didn't infect humans, so maybe I was wondering if there's been any studies done on that in order to sort of come up with a vaccine for Ebola, for London to be able to create antibodies against it, and whether or not it would work on certain strains of the virus.
So does doing the radiation after the surgery or vice versa, do those have any like mega side effects? Like does it destroy the bone cement to do radiation after that?
The hot zone, and that was about Ebola. And anything that was written in the hot zone, did they ever like test in labs to like see if that would like help with Ebola at all?
Kind of going off this question, did you find any other effects in other body systems in the mice?
How were you guys able to distinguish that the decreased pain response isn't just maybe a decrease in like the motor feedback from the periphery?
I guess the ethical question for what I'm working on would be how much pain is too much pain when administering treatment, because with what we're doing we kind of have to cause pain for it to maybe alleviate it in the end, so we're trying to find a level of like tolerance, I guess.
Hey Danny, we have a question that needs to be answered. Do you think you can help us?
These are questions that we don't know.
How can we view mitochondrial transfer?
However, if the 3D printer does indeed have the potential to print nearly anything, what kind of effects would this have on the economical and social structures that we're a part of every day?
Silvia Rajesh, y nosotros trabajamos en el laboratorio de Dr. Todd Bandura en el Departamento de Farmacología.
In the laboratory, we study
Pain.
Hi, I'm April. I'm your radiation tech. Are you ready to go back and get started? Perfect.
Does an overexpression of 1433 gamma lead to an increased propensity of genomic instability?
You know, Terrell, I think you might need to see a doctor. You might have temporal epilepsy.
is purposely falling or freezing an indicative sign to another side effect we haven't yet seen.
My bacteria on time, if not my cells will flatline.
How hearts function better when injecting stem cells in them. We thought it might be due to the mitochondria transfer from the stem cells to the myocytes.
Estas son las preguntas que vamos a explorar en nuestro laboratorio.
In 1976, two major outbreaks occurred in Africa, with an average of a 71.6 mortality rate. The virus responsible for the 602 reported infections was named Ebola.
She'd also occasionally come by. I'd be sometimes working in the hood, and I wouldn't know she was in back of me. And
his enthusiasm, he's no longer scared of me. He actually, we 3D heart from our lab to say thanks. And you'll be hopefully.
You might have to be the manipulator and the other the picker-upper. So it's based on how the trajectory is. So, but I'll leave that up to you.
Pass at the end of the day. I get to go over there and play with it, and so you get to go in and actually feels like it. So.
Well, my name is Sylvester Moses. I was in this program, the CIMIC program in 1996. But it's sort of my pet project, if you will, and something that I would like.
All right, Sammy, if you think.
Edition now, but it's virtually the same material. And on the bottom are two of the pathologists that helped design this course. And actually they're teaching it as a whole semester's course at Basis North now for a group of students. How about this one?
Circulatory.
Could be circulatory. You can make a case for smoking being circulatory. You can make it a case for inflammatory. If you could get cancer, you can make a case for neoplasia. So you could You know, these things are meant to be a little basically undefinable within one category so that make them think.
Well, one of the things that I do, because we're restricted in our finances and we're restricted in what we can do in a lab class in high school, so I just remind them of that. I do tell them, that is a wonderful idea, and if we were able to do that via funding or via equipment or whatever the restriction is, whatever. We're not asking you all to do everything in the same way. What I think is important about resources like this is it's important to know if these resources are going to work in a variety of contexts, which earlier this morning when you all talked about, some of you are at charter schools, some of you are in middle school versus high school, some of you are in rural areas or suburban areas. So I think that all of those things kind of come into play. So